players.
I am not gay. I am not gay.
Has she gone or is she here? Kathleen Kennedy's employment status is queer.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
What are you doing?
Adjusting your breasts. You fainted and they shifted all out of whack. There.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As long as the credits keep rolling in, life's good.
It's really ready to go. Okay, Cicely! Okay, Cicely! Okay, Cicely! Take me by the hand, take me by the hand, okay, take me by the hand, take me by the hand, okay, he, him, they, them. He, him, they, them. Some people just call me Fluffy. What the fuck is he wearing? It's not Halloween. Look, it's sizzling. My God, am I bending the head? Oh my God, like yeah. Hey darling, you can smile more. That's what we fucking do. Fuck off! Ooh, take me by the hand. Ooh, Mr. Ocean Man. Ooh, take me by the hand. Ooh, Mr. Ocean Man. Yeah, she is all gangrenous. That's cute, you massive fucking soy cock. He, him, they, them. Superficial bollocks. He, him, they, them. Spider monkey fucker. Some people just call me Fluffy. Holy shit. Yard, 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 yard. It's Captain Gay. Yes, of course it's Captain Gay. Yard, 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 yard. It's really ready to go. You're some Hollywood horse bitch. Kitty fuck. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, look, it's sizzling. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, I'm gonna make wide your main balls. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, oh my God, like yeah. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, beat him into submission. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, yada 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 yada. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, you got me. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, so fucking crazy. Ocean man, take me by the hand. Ocean man, fuck off. Fire, fire, big pants flyer. One of them. So that went well. Let's move on. She's like, it's so. Oh look, what a coincidence. God damn, I hate this thing. I can't say the word tampon. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what?
Fucking pronouns! I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Current fucking day! Fuck off! We can't see past our own fucking reflection. That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda. Twat waffle! That's all you fucking are! Twat waffle! Fuck off! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Cause that's all we fucking know! Cause we're boring! We're so fucking boring! You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! Fuck your immersion! Guess what? Fucking pronouns! You take everything we love and you just can't help! Shovel! You are dog shit! Fucking crap! Ideology into everything! Every single solitary fucking thing! Afternoon, goodbye. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, to afternoon tea with Az. I am your host, as always, Az from Heel versus Babyface, and after 3 weeks of eye issues, it's bruising for some reason. Okay, you do that eye just before I go live streaming. Yeah, wake up and then your eye's just suddenly bruised. Wow. Oh man, maybe Chat's mum's just into that domestic violence thing. I don't know. Or maybe after spending pretty much a full week on Dragon Age, the Veilguard, the Failtard, Dragon Age Failtard. Maybe my eyes just had enough. Yeah. What is it in Event Horizon? If thine eyes offend thee, then rip thee out. Boobies. Yeah, we started playing Dragon Age the Veilguard Thursday. Not this week, just gone, the week before. And we've hit it every day. Every day since. Oh, boy, it's bad. It's really bad. Last week we had a bit of a chit chat about it, but we are now what, 70 hours in. We're doing everything. Now, admittedly, probably 20 of those hours of gameplay is me like this. Just had enough. Just had enough. Just has to take a little bit of time to process whatever tripe has just occurred on the screen. Whether it be the garbage combat, whether it be the garbage acting, whether it be the garbage story. Whether it be one of the companions just... Oh, I wish they were all dead. And we're kind of closing in on the end of the game now, and as much as I'm trying to do everything, every single solid... We just had that in a video. I'm trying to do everything because I want to have every single solitary scrap of context when I make my video about it. When I make my video about it. But this is going to come as a major shock to you guys. And if you are standing up, or if you are in public maybe with some headphones on, maybe you're around at the parents for the first time being introduced. Maybe you're your grandparents, looking after them, making them Sunday lunch. I would sit down. I would sit down with what I'm about to say next, because if you are in the process of doing anything, carrying anything hot, serving some food, something or other, then this may shock you. But after 10 days of release, BioWare, EA, have not released a single sales figure for this game. They have not released a single solitary sales figure for this game. As Noons drops 50! Drops a 50 membership bomb into the stream. Mark Forsyth, I do not lie. This mouth does not tell fibs. That already is a fib. Of course we tell fibs. We tell fibs every day. Little white lies, lies by omission. But no. There has Noons. Massive thank you. Massive thank you. No, there is not a single solitary sales figure released yet. Now, you may say, well, as you know, maybe they just cannot count that high. Yeah. The game is sold so well, booby doobies, that they're simply trying to compile the huge numbers together, and 10 days simply is not enough with which to do this. Okay. I hear you. Let's, ladies and gentlemen, if I can enter Exhibit A into the fray, the Walder fray. I'll just get rid of that because there's no results for that search. But this is Black Myth Wukong. That in the first 3 days of release, the first 3 days had sold 10 million units. 10 million units. Selling 4.5 million on launch day. 4.5 million on its day of launch. 10 million in the first 3 days. And is currently sitting at approximately, as of September, 18 million units sold. That's pretty good, that is. That's pretty good. Let's say the game had a budget of 150 million. Let's just say. Let's say it had a budget of 200 million. fuck it, let's go all in. Let's say it had a budget of 200 million. How many does it have to shift to make its money back? Not profit, to make its money back. Well, it has to shift somewhere in the region of 4 to 6 million copies on that type of budget. 4 to 6 million on a 200 million budget, somewhere around there, you know. But it wasn't that much. In actual fact, it wasn't even close to that much money. But I'm just trying to give you a wee bit of context, because do you know what game was close to that amount of money? Dragon Age Veilguard. That was around about that cost. Black Myth Wukong, nowhere close. Nowhere even close to that. This game's made a lot of profit. A lot of profit. If you want the exact budget, let's see the exact budget for Black Myth, because there seems to be fluctuating numbers. I like to use around about 100 million, but it's less than. Because, you know, I'm sort of taking in marketing budgets and stuff like that. But according to the figures, Black Myth Wukong cost around $43 million to make. $43 million to make. Now, it was made in China, and it was pretty much funded by the Chinese Communist Party. So there's a likelihood it was made by slates. Anyway, the reported budget is around about $43 million for Black Myth Wukong. Now, why do I mention that game specifically? Because to me, Black Myth Wukong is my game of the year. That's my current game of the year. I don't think it's going to be taken over. I don't think there's anything left to come to take that over. But there's been some good drops this year. Stellar Blade is another one right up there. I loved Stellar Blade. Great game. Why does Black Myth Wukong tip Stellar Blade for me? Well, because I'm just on the verge of completing Black Myth Wukong for the third time. For the third time. Stellar Blade I finished once, I loved. And I do need to complete the cans quest so I can get Eve's cans. You know, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Space Marine 2 was another doozy. But I will be doing my favorite games of 2024. I will be doing a video going through my favorite games of 2024. That video will likely come out next month, beginning of next month, you know, beginning to the mid of next month. And we'll go through all of that. But yes, just to put it in context, Black Myth Wukong had sales figures immediately. It had sales figures after 3 days because they were celebrating 10 million units shifted after 3 days. With an insane launch day of 4.5 million. And it's a great game. It is a legitimately great game with a shit ton of depth. Wonderful little secrets, great exploration, phenomenally engaging combat. And it just has that let's go play it again factor with the new game plus. Let's go back in there. And I went back and I got the good ending. I got the good ending, the true ending, the full context ending. And it was awesome. It was awesome. It's great to play a game that you just love. You just lose yourself in. You drift away. Yeah. You just such a good feeling. I'm a little bit happy today because I don't have to play fucking Dragon Age. I get the day off. The Sunday Funday crew, we're all back. Everyone's back. So Sunday Funday's back today. So unless for some crazy reason I decide to stream a little bit of Dragon Age after Sunday Funday, which I do not think I will be doing. We will be picking it back up tomorrow when I'm rested, when I've regained some brain cells. Because I have been losing brain cells by the tens of millions with that game. Because it is trash. Trash. Let's have a look at another game's sales figures, shall we? Something a little bit more in line with Dragon Age Veilguard. I would say Baldur's Gate 3. Sound fair? Baldur's Gate 3. How many units has Baldur's Gate 3 sold? Well, it's estimated somewhere in the region of 15 million. 15 million copies. Even though Larian's been a little bit cagey about it, a little bit cagey, 15 million units sold of Baldur's Gate 3. That's pretty good. It's pretty good sales. I would say so. I would say so. There's no concrete figures. The game is likely to have sold around 15 million copies due to the fact that DOS 2 was said to have tripled its predecessor's sales back in 2019, with that of selling around 2.5 million. But multiplication aside, it is safe to say that Baldur's Gate 3 would be a contender for one of the best-selling games of 2024. Okay. 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 Okay, let's have another. Let's have a look at something else. I want to check something else. Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah? Dragon's Dogma 2. I would say a brand that isn't as well known as the Dragon Age brand. A game that, if you look at the stream charts, had a peak of 228,000, which is 3 times as much as Dragon Age did. The estimated budget of Dragon's Dogma 2, this is the estimated budget, is around 20 to 30 million. I like hearing numbers like this, about 20 to 30 million. That was the budget for Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, when you have a budget of around 20 to 30 million and you make a game that's as good as Dragon's Dogma 2 was, because it was a very good game, it needs to sell somewhere in the region of 1 million copies to break even, around about. Not exact maths, but it needed to break about 1 million, 1.25 million to make its money. Okay. And that's me kind of being real sort of not lenient, quite the opposite. Me being kind of tough. It probably needs a little bit less than 1 million in all realism. Anyway, estimated sales units of Dragon's Dogma 2. Capcom has actually got official sales figures for it from Capcom Japan. And this is Capcom Japan, and Dragon's Dogma 2 has sold 2.5 million units. 2.5 million units. So Dragon's Dogma 2 is a very profitable game. It's a very profitable game for Capcom. That's how you do it. Realistic budgets, good game. It's going to sell. So 2.5 million, that's a nice bit of profit. That is a nice bit of profit. One of the problems that we have today, boobs. This is, by the way, back in April. So these figures are most likely higher now. This is back in April. So it's likely much higher. I mean, when I say much higher, not much higher, but it's probably somewhere in the region of 3 million now. I would speculate. But back in April, 2.5 million units. Now, what I was just about to say was one of the issues that we tend to have today is we tend to hear a lot of big corporations talking about huge budgets and huge turnovers in theaters, for example. You know, Deadpool Wolverine, 1.4 billion. 2.4 million to a billion, sorry. Force Awakens, stuff like that, you know? There seems to be a mentality of making all the money. We need to make all the money, you know. Everything needs to be $1 billion blockbuster. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Realistic budgets can turn over great profits. What a game needs to be is good. That's what it needs to be. 20 to 30 million budget. That's a lot of money. That is still a lot of money. The Witcher 3's budget was somewhere in the region of $50 million. The Witcher 3. That game is now sold somewhere in the region of 60 million units. 60 million copies of The Witcher 3 sold. A $50 million budget for The Witcher 3. And just look at the size and the scope of that game. It is ginormous. Now, take inflation into consideration, 50 million, almost 10 years later, it's going to be slightly higher, but that 50 million is probably going to be somewhere in the region of 70 million now. Still, a very realistic budget for the amount of copies and the popularity of the series. But Dragon Age Veilguard is seemingly somewhere in the region of 150 million, potentially higher in budget. Why? Can you see it on the screen? Well, This game's been in development for 8 years and it's been fucking remade over and over again. In terms of concept, in terms of what they were trying to implement, until they got into the version that they decided to go for. Started off as the Dreadwolf, which seemed to be a storyline by the title, which was heavily focused on Solus and the ramifications of what happened at the end of Inquisition. But then it pivoted. It pivoted away. And suddenly Dragon Age Dreadwolf, where they were still using that title, but really referring to it as the next Dragon Age game, pivoted it into a live service game, which is a heck of a pivot. Going from a single-player RPG to a live service game, because, of course, there was this huge trend for live services. But then it pivoted again. And the live service aspect was dropped, and we got whatever the fuck this is. They went, should we make a single-player game heavily focused on the Dreadwolf, the Solus storyline, continue the lore of Dragon Age, the ramifications of Inquisition, or should we just make a bunch of trans shit? And here we are. And here we are, you know. Duncan died for this. We got whatever the fuck this thing is, which is an embarrassment to gaming. So you got 8 years of development, a lot of money squandered as the game pivots and pivots again. Most likely irresponsible spending. And it looks like to make their money back, never mind to make any profit, to make their money back, this game, Dragon Age, the Veilguard, needs to sell somewhere in the region of 3 to 5 million copies. So how many copies has it sold? I mean, there's no figures. It's 10 days later. We've had no figures. Speculations are that it sold less than Star Wars Outlaws, based on the same sort of shifting of units within the commercial space, based off the amount of people playing on Steam. Then using that data to extrapolate how many physical units probably sold. And the speculation is that it's probably sold in the region of 500,000 copies. Approximately 500,000 copies. That's the speculation. Do we know for sure? No, we don't, because we have no official figures. So this is trying to use data to come up with a guesstimate, as best a guesstimate as people can get. And using store data, it seems to be somewhere in the region of 500,000 copies, which, if true, could be approximately 10% of what they need just to make the money back. Best case scenario, let's say 20% of what they need to make their money back. So whichever way you look at it, with your sales predominantly being on the heavy side at the beginning, particularly if your game's bad. Even if your game's bad, you can still have heavy sales, but if your game's bad, it's going to be a huge drop-off. If your game's good, then word of mouth is actually going to aid that drop-off to have a nice little curve. And maybe you might even have a good start. And then have a dip, obviously, as time goes on. And the bulk of your sales has happened. But we have a good indication of whether or not it has sold well and whether or not this is the case with Dragon Age the Veilguard. And I'll show you how. I'll show you how we can do that. What we do is we go and... Oh, hold on. No, I've got to have gone past. I've got... I didn't. Oh, this is embarrassing. I feel slightly embarrassed, chat. You see, the data which I was going to bring you, I still am. I'm going to show you in a second. Don't worry. But the data that I was going to bring you, I was looking in the top 20 to find where it was in the top 20. But it's currently number 39. So I thought I'd scrolled past it. And so I went back up to the top to look, and I couldn't find it. So I had to keep scrolling down and down and down until I got to number 39. And then there it was, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Because one way that we can see if a game is selling, has got a good word of mouth and is selling, is how many people playing. Because if your game's got good word of mouth and it starts to sell, then you tend to find that your all-time peak number goes up. However, here we are at number 39, 44,000 people playing. And this time last week, there was 89.5, and that's where it peaked, which in itself is really poor. But half of the people who were playing last week are playing this week. And this was its strongest day last week. This was the peak, the most concurrent players that it got. A third, by the way, of what Dragon's Dogma 2 got. Just FYI. And so we've actually seen a drop-off of about 50% of players in the first week. Which isn't saying that it's getting the sales. It isn't saying, this isn't saying that word of mouth is spreading and people are flocking to buy this game because it's so good. It's not giving that vibe. In actual fact, quite the opposite. Because of the 44,000 people playing now, the likelihood is the bulk of that 44,000 was playing this time last week as well. And if we look at games that are above it, Elden Ring, Satisfactory, which that's a little doozy poozy. Cyberpunk, more people playing that. Once Human, done very well as Once Human. It's a good game. Baldur's Gate 3, 86,500 people playing it now still. Monster Hunter World, not the demo, Monster Hunter World, 94,000 people playing right now. Scrolling up a little bit more, and then of course you've got your Counter-Strikes and your Dotas and your Call of Duty and your Apex Legends. all that sort of stuff. And there we go. Black Myth Wukong. 2.4 million players at peak. Still has nearly 90,000 people playing now. Fucking great game. Fucking great game. But we scroll down and we scroll down and we scroll down and eventually we get to Dragon Aids the Veilguard. Oopsie doopsies. Oopsie doopsies. So this number of approximately 500,000 units sold, how accurate is that? Well, I would say there's probably 100% swing, whether or not that could be right or wrong. It could be 500,000, it could be close to 1 million, but one way or another, if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 1 million that it's actually sold, that is probably only 20% of what they need to sell to make the money back. Somewhere in that region. But there's something else. There's something else that also points to poor sales figures. And here it is. Here it is. Here's another point that sales figures are really bad. Dragon Age the Veilguard will not have any DLC or expansions. That is a heck of a thing. And now this, by the way, is an official announcement. This is an official announcement. This isn't a speculation. This isn't a rumor. This is an official announcement. It will not have any DLC or expansions. Now, every other Dragon Age game did. But this one won't. As BioWare has said, it's shifting all of its focus to Trash Effect 5. And I say Trash Effect because this is trash right here. The character of Trash. Possibly the worst video game character ever created. And this is going to be the Trash Effect. It's like the Mandela effect. It's like the butterfly effect. But this is the Trash Effect. And because of this piece of shit here, this is going to affect this. Because the Mass Effect franchise is already in trouble due to Trash Effect Andromeda, which was a pile of shit. And it wasn't just a pile of shit because they didn't know how to work the engine properly. Because, you know, that sort of stuff can be forgiven. Ultimately, anyway. But it wasn't because they didn't know how to use the engine properly and they couldn't program it the way they wanted to. And so the animations got all fucked up and all this kind of stuff. Mass Trash Effect. Trash Effect Andromeda had a bigger problem. And the bigger problem was the garbage story, the garbage characters, the garbage dialogue. Now then, if that sounds familiar, trash dialogue, trash story, trash characters, then this is now the BioWare way, because we haven't had good, compelling characters in a BioWare game since Mass Effect 3. Because Andromeda was trash, Anthem was trash, And now Dragon Age is trash. Now, whereas Anthem was a live service game that failed miserably, both Andromeda and Dragon Age are meant to be character-driven, story-driven, single-player video games. And they failed miserably. They failed in terms of storytelling. They failed in terms of immersion. They failed in terms of characters. And all of the wonderful RPGs that we've played on whichever platform you want to select, from the PlayStation, goddamn, you could go back to the Sega Genesis, aka Mega Drive, Master System, you can go to Nintendo, you could go wherever you want. If I was to say to anyone here, tell me about your favorite RPG. Now, of course, RPGs aren't for everybody. That's fine. But let's just say I said, talk to me about your favorite RPG. There would be a gush. Just a gush. And the gush would be about, oh, well, it's this game and it's got these characters and this story and it does this. And it'd just be a gush. Oh, let me tell you about Final Fantasy VII. Let me tell you about, okay, we'll use that example. Phantasy Star 3, my personal favorite Phantasy Star. Generations of Doom, Phantasy Star 3. Let me tell you about Mass Effect 2. Let me tell you about The Witcher 3. Whatever it is. Gush. Dragon Age Failtard will be remembered for this laughable piece of crap, self-insert, vile, because this character is vile. And the hilarity is that the people behind the game think that this is the stunning and brave. And they're not. They're narcissistic, they're selfish, they're self-centered, they're abrasive. They think the world revolves around them. Does that sound familiar by any chance to a group of people? They think that everything is about fucking them and everybody bends over backwards to accommodate them. Sorry, them. My bad. That's what they think. That's this character in a nutshell. Absolute garbage. Garbage. But we're in a game where pretty much every character is garbage. That's the Darkspawn, by the way. If you thought, oh, is this the latest Disney Pixar movie called, oh my gosh, my new pet's a zombie? LOL, so random. No, this is actually the Darkspawn. As I like to call them, the Herpa Spawn. That's where we are with Dragon Age now, you know. Here we can have a wonderful diverse range of characters, from a flat-chested woman through to a flat-chested woman. But it's also broken up with a absolutely personalityless Grey Warden, or Gay Warden in this case, obviously. You know, it's awesome. We could have a gay man. An effeminate gay Brit. I mean, gay or British. I mean, that is a video. That is a game. Gay or British. Well, good news. Both in this case. We could have an. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm such a Cali girl. Oh my god. Like, is this sort of like Dragon Age or something? I don't know. Like, maybe. I don't know. We can have the complete and utterly emasculated and non-threatening black gay warden. We can have the effeminate gay Brit. We can have the oh my god, LOL so random Harding. I much preferred you, Harding, in Inquisition. They did you dirty in this game. You can have Lucanus, who is possessed by a demon. Oh, sorry, I should really say if this was a TV show, it'd be called Oh My Gosh, My Other Half's a Demon. And it would be a sitcom set in the suburbs of SoCal, who has an addiction to coffee. And because he has a Spanish accent, when they ask him in-game what he's going to cook them for tea, because they actually do, and I'm not taking the piss here, because he has a Spanish accent, he says in this fantasy game that he's going to make paella. He's going to make them paella. Oh, fucking hell. We can have Nev, who tackles a multitude of different boxes. She ticks the flat-chested, absolutely no tits box. She ticks the brown skin box. She ticks the she's got one leg, so disabled box. And she also ticks the voice modulated to sound like a man box as well. And then, of course, we have Trash. The world revolves around Trash character, who has done some of the most embarrassing things that I think I've ever seen in gaming. That's your lineup of characters for Dragon Aid's Failtard. We have done some wonderful stories, some wonderful quests. We have picked flowers. We have lit candles with rung bells. We've sat down and talked about our feelings. That was my favorite quest. So much so, they repeated it 58,000 times over. We've sat down and drunk. We've sat down and eaten, but thankfully, consistency has remained that we always spoke about our fifis. In actual fact, I'm pretty sure that my character has a degree in psychology because they are simply every character's therapist. And that's it. There is no conflict. There is no confrontation, which is just as well because there's also no story to the game. None. The story is, and I shit ye not, that there are two imprisoned elven gods. And Solus decides that he wants to, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Imprison them even harder than they are currently imprisoned. And in attempting to prison the elven gods even further, the elven gods are actually released, and Solus is imprisoned instead, which seems to be a heck of an issue when you're doing a imprisoning rite, you know? Now, since the elven gods have been released, they're going on a rampage around the world, blighting major cities. And then just stopping so that the characters can do LOL so random stuff for 58,000 hours. And they just vanish completely from the story for tens of hours at a time. So the characters can go on a camping trip and a picnic. So that the characters can go and drink coffee. so that the characters can go to a graveyard and pick flowers, so that the characters can say, I'm not my true self and I need to transition into my true self, so that characters can sit down at a dinner table and tell their mum, so I'm non-binary. And that is a line verbatim from the game. They can also berate every character for not using the correct pronouns as the world burns thanks to the elven gods. Because the last thing that anybody needs in an apocalypse is to be misgendered. And by misgendered, referred to as their correct gender and not their fake one, which they made up and want to be told, want to be known by, because they're mentally ill. So what I do love in my apocalyptic world-ending RPG storylines is nothing happening so that we can talk about our feelings and make sure that our pronouns are intact. I can't for the life of me see why this game is just perceived as an unmitigated joke. Who doesn't want to play a game like this? Do you want to play a fantasy game in the Dragon Age universe where everybody sounds like they just walked out of a Starbucks in Seattle? Because this game is for you if you do. And they do love to use terminologies like, I don't like, I don't know, maybe. You know, all those wonderful Californian terms, current day language that they like to stick on to the end of sentences. Well, good news. This is where we are. This is where we are. Like, I don't know, maybe, like something, I'm not sure. So it doesn't bode well for how well your game itself is doing when you immediately after release pivot to the next game that your studio is going to make. But I think the damage is done. I think BioWare is done. I think this is it. It's done. What are they going to do for Trash Effect 5? Are they going to have to dig out Shepard again? Are they going to dig out Shepard in an effort to revitalize the franchise? And more importantly, what does Shepard actually look like in current fucking day? Because I guarantee you it's not the Shepard from the Mass Effect trilogy. No, sir, no, ma'am. No, this will be current day Shepard. And current day Shepard, who isn't going to go around punching journalists, isn't going to go around admiring Miranda's beautiful anus. This is going to be a Shepard for a modern gaming audience. That's what it's going to be. We are going to have the most sanitized, stunning and brave OMG Mass Effect game because they can't get away from it, because that is how the industry in the West is now, and it's of their own making. They have infected their own company. So if you think you're going to get a mature story where you can be the renegade, or you can choose to go down a different path, Paragon, Renegade, No, 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 no. No, sir. Do you think that you can be a hyper masculine guy? Do you think that you can be that? No, 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 no. Do you think your party members will in itself exhibit those qualities? No, 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 no. Trash effect. It's you're done. You're done. Stick a fork in it. EA, just stick a fork in it. You know it's done. There is going to have to be, for Mass Effect 5 to be a success and not be trash effect, there has to be a complete and utter 180 in the mentality of the Western gaming industry. And there is zero indication that that is going to in any way, shape, or form happen. Quite the opposite. Every time we have seen something rejected because of its far left political leanings, because it's not as if, again, it's not as if Dragon Aid's Failtard is adding more options for people. You can go that full far left route. You can go down the gender ideology wormhole should you wish to, because it's now a new option. Well, where is the make to Vinter great again option? Where is the counterbalance of that? Where is the full-on rejection of that? Oh, that doesn't exist. Because this isn't actually adding more and giving more options. This is actually pushing an ideology into video games that the vast majority of people do not want. And that is why the mirror is presented to you very early on in the game, whether or not to accept transgenderism in the Dragon Age world, because they actually funneled a lot of work into the dialogue and storyline surrounding that, because that's all they wanted to do. That's a very important aspect for them. Never mind that the story's trash. The characters are garbage. The gameplay's fucking pathetic. The level design is linear and dull and lends itself to no exploration whatsoever. That you gate off areas that you don't want people to go down because you don't want them to explore. You want them on the rails at all fucking times. Never mind that. Let's just waste so many resources into the self-insert for the trans director and the trans writer, because just like trash, everything revolves around them. It's all about them and not the customer. And not who the vast majority of the audience is, male or female, that want themselves a mature, dark fantasy that lends itself to interesting and complex storytelling and interesting and complex decision making. Not this fucking barista shit. I haven't even got it on the page. Not this barista shit that we have here. Of, oh my God, accept my identity. I've taken some snippets of dialogue from the game that you are going to, of course Jim Sterling liked the game. Of course he did. Oh, he, her, it. Well, it's a he, of course, because it's Jim Sterling. But of course they did. And they, I mean, as in the informal they. The game's trash. It's utter trash. So, of course, he did. This is made for an audience of them. Sorry, they, them. This is made for an audience of they, them. This isn't made for a Dragon Age audience. This isn't made for an RPG audience. In actual fact, this isn't meant for a gaming audience. This is made for narcissists who like to virtue signal and push gender ideology. That's all it's made for. That's all it's made for. Yeah, the old Jim Sterling would have ripped this game to pieces. But that guy died a long time ago. The guy that made good critical commentary about the video game industry died a long time ago. And now we have whatever this weirdo is in its place. But this isn't a game that is made for gamers. It's not. And so, Mass Effect 5, and I'll stress again, boobies. Booby doobies. Mass Effect 5 would have to do a full 180, and there is no indication that the gaming industry is going to do that. None. Every time one of these types of games fails, and when I say one of these types, I mean ideological pieces of shit, where hundreds of millions of dollars are wasted to push gender ideology or far left ideology onto the gamers who don't want it, it doesn't belong in their games, and they don't care. Ideology which no longer allows men to be masculine and females to be feminine. Ideology that is actually exceedingly anti-white, particularly anti-white male, particularly straight white male, which just so happens, by the way, to make up a very large proportion of gamers, FYI. I don't think there is a more misogynistic game than Dragon Age Veilguard. Because I think this game isn't just anti-masculine, but this game is anti-feminine. And it's anti-woman. You can cut your tits off, but you can't have a character with tits because the slider won't let you. Women cannot make realistic looking women. Or if we're talking about different shapes and sizes of people, women can't make characters that look like them because they cannot create the type of breast size or ass size that an actual woman wants. And so why don't they allow that? Well, they don't allow that because they don't want to, inverted commas, offend the trans men, the trans female. And when you have to stick a word in front of man and woman, it means that you aren't one, okay? So because they don't want to offend them by actually making realistic body types for women, the male gaze just take as a given, okay? Just take that as a given. But this is very much, and particularly with the character creation screen, this is very much a statement of how misogynistic these people truly are. And what an actual hatred of women they truly do have. Because they can't be one. And so resentment starts to set in. And resentment leads to things like legitimate misogyny. Not Twitter misogyny. Not, oh my God, you like Lara Croft, so you're a misogynist. You know, not retarded misogyny. Not fake misogyny. Not, oh my God, you don't like Rey Skywalker. You're totes like a misogynist or something. I don't know. Like maybe. Not one of those fake misogynists, because they need to apply a word to the fact that the character is dog shit, poorly written, and thoroughly rejected. This is actual misogyny. Because this is showing a clear indication of a hatred of the female body. But you see, the type of people that make games like this, they look down on us gamers because they think we're stupid. They think we're plebs. They think we're scum. They think they're above us. And that's why they produce games like this, because they feel they need to educate us on the way that we should think, because our tiny little brains are too small to accept the big brain ideology that they espouse. But the simple fact of the matter is, they are full of hatred and resentment and spite. And it shows. It shows in the way that they write characters. It shows in the way that they write men and women and storytelling. It shows in the character creation screen. It just shows and drips of envy. It's mad that you can actually enjoy masculinity and enjoy femininity. It's mad that you can actually just embrace the masculine and feminine of everyday life that men and women are. And in quite a few cases, let's just be honest, it's spite because they can't be the gender that they are trying to pretend to be. But it's due to those sorts of reasons that there is such a high percentage in self-deletion with this group of people. Because it doesn't matter whether or not you have bits added or bits cut off. It doesn't matter how many wigs or makeups or other surgeries you have. Internally, you know exactly who you are. And that's the one thing that can never be conquered. That's the one thing that can never be changed. And that's the legitimate tragedy of it. And that's why the self-deletion rate is so high. And that's why the self-deletion rate is exactly the same pre and post operation. Because cosmetic changes don't change the inside. They don't change the internal. And that's the demon that they have to sadly deal with. That's the demon that they have to fight. And unfortunately, a lot of people lose that battle and they can't do that. And that's the true tragedy. And that's why this is something which needs to be tackled mentally. And there needs to be a lot more mental health aspects available to people. Not pandering. Not pandering. Help. And it takes courage to actually ask for help. And it takes courage to say you need help. But we are living in an age of cowardice. That's what we are living in. I'm talking about the legitimate people. I'm not talking about the trans trenders here. I'm not talking about the fake ass people that use it as a sword and a shield to hide it behind because they know that it affords them protections. I'm talking about the legitimate people who have had their way of life hijacked by narcissism and narcissists who do need true help. But because it has been hijacked, we are now dealing with the ramifications of it in every day in terms of entertainment, TV, film, movie, video games. And it's sad. Very sad. But when it comes to industries like TV, movies, and video games, these are businesses. And these are businesses that need customers to live and thrive. And so you take your money away from them. And you keep taking your money away from them. And you put your money in the companies that are actually producing stuff that you want to watch, that you want to play, that you want to hobby-wise engage in. The fact that this game is a disaster the fact that this game is a complete and utter failure is the least shocking thing of 2024. We could see this coming a mile away. And we could see this coming a mile away when we saw the footage, when we got the leaked scenes. Because as hard as this might be for a lot of these people to understand, the vast majority of people don't want to engage in your fantasy. The world doesn't revolve around you. And I don't have to accept, nor does anyone else have to accept your way of life or your ideology. In actual fact, the biggest hypocrisy of all of this is the screaming, the ranting, the raving, the demanding of accepting their way of life, accepting who they are, with giving no shits and no respect about your way of life and your way of thinking. But that's the reason why ideologies like this are poisonous, is because they believe that they are the only correct answer. And that's why you don't apologize to these people, because there is no forgiveness. There is only compliance and capitulation. So decent people acting decently isn't good enough for them. And even in the game itself, with the pulling above scene, it's not good enough to apologize. Apologies are insincere. You need to throw yourself down in front of us, and you need to do 10 push-ups. You need to show me how sorry you are. Narcissism. Raving, utter narcissism, which always revolves around power and control of people. Never apologize. Never apologize. If you want to receive respect, then you have to give respect as well. If you want to receive respect, then it's your actions which will determine whether or not the person decides to give it to you. But when you demand anything, you don't deserve shit. The ego and narcissism surrounding this game, the ego and narcissism surrounding the ideological elements, are not steps forward, they are steps backward. Because when you lose nuance and just begin to preach, then you're no longer entertaining people. You're attempting to either indoctrinate people or shame people into accepting your way. It's not going to work. You're dealing with gamers here. We don't care. Nor should we. Nor are we going to. We want good shit. Give it to us or fuck off. And that's just the same in TV, and that's just the same in film. One might say, without trying to make it political, but one might say the events of this week is also another show that people are sick and tired of certain aspects being pushed into their everyday life. Sick and tired of having freedoms seemingly taken away. Sick and tired of people who are pretty much the scum of the earth trying to tell other people how they should be existing and living. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind as the writer of Dragon Age Veilguard moves over to Mass Effect 5. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Mass Effect 5 will attempt to double down on a lot of the things that Dragon Age Veilguard failed on. Absolutely, they will. And I'll throw down the gauntlet to BioWare right now. Prove me wrong, because you won't. I would love to be proved wrong. I would love to eat crow. I really would. I would love to make the video with the title, I was wrong. Mass Effect 5 is fucking amazing. I would love legitimately to make that video, but I doubt very much I will be. I do think, however, I will be making a video saying BioWare shuts down or EA shuts BioWare down. I think there's a much, much higher chance of that video being made. Because all of this DEI and ESG, which has infested and infected these companies, is rampant and will remain rampant. Your sweet baby inks are just going to hide behind the scenes. They realize that their arrogance and the fact that they thought that they dominated the gaming industry because they only care about the corporations that they infect. They thought that their positions were so powerful they could openly discuss and say what they actually were doing. But now that people have actually cottoned on, found all these videos, shared them, and thoroughly rejected it, now they're going to scurry into the shadows like the rats that they are. But they're still going to be whispering from those shadows to these companies. They're going nowhere. If you want a company to show that they are going back to a more customer-focused position, then the companies have to start shutting down, not moving them over to Bridge or something like that. No, they need to be shutting down these divisions. Shutting them down, get the rats off the ship. They need to do what Elon did with Twitter. Probably got 85% of your fucking company. Keep the people there who genuinely believe in what they're doing and want to work. And hire people, and I don't give a shit what color you are. I don't give a shit if you're a man or a woman. I don't give a shit what you do in your bed of a night and who you do it with, as long as it's consensual and safe for both parties. As long as you are committed to the gaming industry and making wonderful games that people can enjoy. But we're not going to see that. We are not going to see that at these major corporations. Ubisoft has 58,000 fucking divisions of ESG. CD Projekt Red can't stop fucking talking about how much they're taking ESG and DI up the fucking shitter right now. These companies aren't changing. They ain't changing their ideologies. It's no longer a situation for us to be fans, right? Because the word fan is so apologetic in nature. Because when you're a fan of something, you desperately want to forgive so much because you're a fan. I'm a fan of Star Wars, so I sort of forgive a lot of the Star Wars stuff because it's Star Wars. No. You got to start separating that away. And companies have started to stop. Companies have got to start to get the attitude. They've got to start to get the attitude of, I need to earn your money as a customer. I need to earn your sale. That's what they've got to get. Because they're infiltrating fandoms and they're essentially thinking that because we've infiltrated the fandom, that fandom will now flush us full of money because they are fans of franchise. No, corporations have got to start thinking with the mentality of, how can I earn your sale? The Witcher remake, the Witcher 1 remake, this is probably the game that I'm least worried about, because that's being made not by CD Projekt Red, that's being made by Rebel Wolf Studios. And Rebel Wolf Studios are all the good people that left CD Projekt Red, or at least some of them. And if Rebel Wolves can be left alone to make that game, then the remake of The Witcher could be good. But The Witcher 4, well, that's a different kettle of fish altogether. Now, people have said that they're very, and it has received high praise from customers, the DLC, the expansion pack for Cyberpunk 2077. But, and this is a big but, the CEO of CD Projekt Red recently took to Twitter to attempt to engage people who were talking about ESG and not hiring on merit, and DEI, and Renata saying that it doesn't exist. We hire everything on merit, and yet the website is full to the brim of ESG and DEI. Those actual words being consistently used over and over and over again, showing different divisions that are hiring, that are discriminating against people. We're hiring for this role, but you can't be a white man. We're hiring for this role, but you can't be a man. We're hiring for this role if you identify as XYZ. So, I worry. I very much worry for The Witcher 4. Now, if The Witcher 4 is a pile of shit, it's no skin off my nose, because I will always have the first Witcher trilogy. And we are getting to a position where franchises have moved so far away from what they tended to be, the idea of what they were or what they stood for, that these additional parts that are coming out no longer in any way, shape, or form resemble that franchise, and therefore should no longer in any way, shape, or form be viewed as canon, regardless that it comes from the same company. Doctor Who no longer represents or resembles Doctor Who. It's not the same thing, and therefore it is not Doctor Who. It's thoroughly rejected, and its audience have thoroughly rejected it. Star Trek is no longer Star Trek. It hasn't been Star Trek for, well, 20 years now. And therefore, everything that's come from it, it's not canon, it doesn't exist, and it won't affect my enjoyment of Next Generation, original series, or anything, because it is not part of that. You've made it very easy for a fan to separate, which is the worst thing that you can possibly do as a corporation. You have made the transition from paying customer to go fuck yourself Very easy indeed. Last week, when we spoke about Dragon Age Veilguard, I mentioned a tweet. I'm blocked, so I had to use it a third, party. I mentioned a tweet by a piece of dog shit called Jason Schreier, a snake, crawling on his belly piece of fucking filth. Jason Schreier works for Bloomberg now. I think I said he used to work for Polygon. No, he used to work for Kotaku, of course. And he was saying, ha, look, Dragon Age Veilguard is the #1 selling game on Steam. I was like, right, quantify that. Oh, look, Dragon Age the Veilguard is 59,000 people watching it right now. Ha. Well, what does that mean? Is that good or is it bad? And as we discovered, it's bad. It's really bad. And then somebody said to this guy, he said, you can't honestly tell me that you like this game. And this piece of belly-crawling snake scum filth called Jason Schreier said, oh, no, I don't personally like the game, but I love sticking it to the chuds. Sticking it to the chuds. He's deleted that tweet because the game is an unmitigated failure in sales and in every other area. In terms of people playing the whole job. He's deleted the tweet because when you crawl on your belly for a living, you can't use your words. You can't stand by your words. So you have to delete them and pretend they never happened. Pure cowardice in its final form. But that is gaming journalism of today. It is an industry that hates itself. You can see that from the people who are making the games. You can see that in games media. It's an industry that despises gamers. And I tell you one of the reasons why they despise gamers. Because for the most part, gamers don't bend the knee. I would say that gamers are one of the last remaining group that really do speak with their wallets. If a game is shit, they won't buy it. Gamers like themselves a nice, comfortable pair of slippers. I like what I like. That's a gamer. A gamer is a guy that sits down in a fucking comfortable chair with his feet up and he's got a TV show on with a woman with big old titties. Why? Because he knows what he fucking likes. And nobody is going to tell this guy, okay, nobody's going to tell this guy in his fucking house, in his domain, where he rules as king, as he sits on that sofa with his beer in one hand and his titties on the fucking TV. Nobody is telling that fucking guy how he should be thinking. He'll tell you to fuck off. That's a gamer. Right there. Don't tell me what to do in my fucking castle. Fuck off if you don't like it. That's a gamer. And so when you put this in front of a gamer, when you put this in front of their face, when they're sat down on their beautiful, warm fucking couch with their feet up, with their beer in one hand. When you put that in front of them and say, this is Dragon Age, they go, fuck off. Dragon Age, my ass. Fuck off. That's what a gamer does, and that's what they can't stand. That's why they hate gamers. They can't be manipulated. They like what they like. I like to wear my joggers because they're fucking comfortable. I like to put t-shirts on because they're fucking comfortable. I like to have my cup of coffee in the morning. I like to have a cup of coffee in the middle of the morning. I like to have a cup of fucking coffee at midday. I knows what I likes and I like what I knows. That's a gamer. And they can't be manipulated by ideology because they don't give a fuck about your ideology. And they can't be manipulated by being called a racist or a sexist or a homophobe or a bigot, because they have survived the modern warfare lobby wars of 2007, and they have come out with fucking more medals than any recognized general on planet fucking Earth. And the simple fact of the matter is, they probably earned their medals saying half of the fucking shit that you're accusing them of. So they look at you and they go, ha ha ha, yep. They don't care. You're a sexist. Probably. You're a racist. If it pisses you off, sure. Why aren't my words getting to you? Because the gamer is the king of his fucking castle. And you're a fucking jester. That's why. And they can't take that. They cannot take that. They cannot take that they can't control the narrative. This game is fantastic. It's amazing. It's awesome. Everybody should buy this. This is going to be excellent. Go buy it. 5 out of 5, Eurogamer. 9 out of 10, IGN. Gamer. Nah. Sorry, Gamer, no. Hi, my name's Eurogamer. We gave this a 5 out of 5. That means you buy the game, okay? Yeah, nah. Nah, I'm good. I'll take Call of Duty 59, please. But it's the fifth. It's the 59th Call of Duty. It doesn't have anything about trans identity or how you should feel as a man and why you should reject toxic masculinity. It's an Angel franchise. Yeah, I like it. It's comfortable. It gives me what I want. Thanks. They hate the fact that they can't control the narrative. They hate the fact that nobody gives a shit about what they say. They hate the fact that nobody gives a toss about their reviews anymore, and they are the only ones that they have to blame. And because they also know that they're the only ones that they have to blame, it builds up even more resentment because they can't change their own nature. They are the scorpion that sits on the frog as the frog crawls and swims across the pond. It will stab the frog and they will both drown because it's in its nature. They're just poisonous creatures by their own nature, and they will kill their own industry because that's what the froggy represents. They will kill their own industry because it's their nature to destroy and divide. That's what games journalism is. a scorpion on the back of a frog, constantly fucking poisoning it. Meanwhile, the pond's outside of the gamer guy's house in the chair that he's nice and comfortable in, watching the fucking show, which makes him happy. So he don't give a shit. He don't give a shit about your Kotakus or your Polygons or your Eurogamers or your whatever it is. He don't give a flying fuck. That's, by the way, why you're going out of business. Because your Polygons and your Kotakus and your Eurogamers and all the other ones, by the way, which have now folded and gone, and Kotaku we'll get to in a moment, is on the verge of that, as Melissa Mercante found out this week as she was fired from Kotaku, is while you're stabbing the frog and poisoning it and drowning, your customer is the guy in the house, not the gaming industry. The guy in the house, that's the customer. And you don't realize it. Because you think that chumming up to the gaming industry gets you access. And you think because you get access and you get invited to these little places to play something a little bit earlier, and you get your review copies so you can put out your 7 out of 10, you think that that's your customer. No. No, your customer's the guy in the house. You see? And the guy in the house, he'll give you currency of cash dollar if you give him the currency of authenticity. He wants to believe that you are authentic enough that when you say, this is my review of a game, he reckons, yeah, that this person's telling the truth. Whether you like the game or dislike the game, the guy's going to be like, okay, well, I believe that that person's telling the truth. I believe that they like that. It's not for me personally, maybe next time. Or, oh, they didn't like it, or I liked it, or you're on both on the same page. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. But because you aren't prepared to give the gamer authenticity, genuineness, legitimacy, yeah, we'll take them. We'll come here. Come here. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. That's why people go to YouTube. That's why gamers go to YouTube. That's why they'll go to their favorite YouTubers. They'll go to the people, regardless of who they are, from me to Angry Joe to Skillup to Jim Sterling, as was mentioned today. They'll go to the person who they believe is going to be authentic. Now, which is probably why Jim's lost a lot of subscribers. Because he's lost the authenticity. But they'll go to the people who they believe is authentic. I don't agree with a lot of what Angry Joe says. I don't like the guy as a person. I think he's a fucking bellend. But when I used to watch, because I don't anymore, but when I used to watch his reviews, I always thought, whether or not I agreed with him or disagreed with him on certain points, I always believed that he was telling the truth in how he viewed a game. That is what a customer wants. That is what a viewer on YouTube wants. They want to believe the authenticity of that person. Booby doobies. So if you are you don't have to be brave or courageous. But if you want to be genuine in what you do, in your art, in your craft, whatever you want to call it, if you want to be genuine, then you are going to garner a following. You're going to garner an audience because they're going to see that. So let's now move to so let's just move to another aspect. So let's go to this. Let's go to this. Let's go to this. Alyssa McCante no longer working at Kotaku. Now, this here isn't just a retard. This isn't just Temu fucking Frosk. And believe me, it is bad. Frosk was a joke of a human being. We could point at Frosk and laugh uproariously at how pathetic they were. A horrible piece of shit human being that was essentially driven out of every community that they tried to get involved with because everybody realized they were a piece of shit. From the League of Legends community through to the gaming community in general, and now apparently no longer working within that sector. But Frosk was a joke. This is fucking Temu Frosk. That's how fucking bad this one is. This is fucking Temu Frosk. You would actually have to be of a higher quality to get to the lolcal level of even fucking Frosk. This is fucking AliExpress Frosk right here. You know, okay. In a post to X, McCante wrote, after exactly 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku. You were fired. You were laid off. You were laid off. You were told to go. You were told to go. I am grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all that they taught me. They taught you nothing at all. They taught you how to attack gamers. They told you how to alienate your actual audience because you are fucking stupid. You're an idiot. You're a fucking retard. They showed you how to make sure that you would never find a job again, and you ate it up because you are dumb as fuck. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make Kotaku great and hold on to their journalistic integrity in the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. AKA, they push an ideology that has nothing to do with video games. And they are so dumb and retarded that they can't pivot away from it, and it's killed the company. And it's so funny that they tried to even disguise that. But you are the person who's walking out of the company with your brown box full of crap in the middle of the day in tears saying, got him. Got him. Who's that? Somebody just got fired. Oh, okay. Ha! Got him. Got him. This is the right decision for me. You were fired. I have some things coming down the pike. It's pipeline. It's pipeline, you fucking retard. It's things coming down the pipe, not pike, you fucking idiot. So keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, I remember Frost saying that. We never heard from her again, apart from when she tweeted to say, "I'm leaving the gaming industry." Okay, that's it. That's all we afford that person. Maybe they meant Dyke. I don't know. Because they're off to Holland or something. But there is one thing I need to show you. One more thing that I do need to show you about them. Because when I saw this, I laughed. And I laughed. And I laughed. No, the decision was made before the layoffs. No. You see, I decided to leave before the layoffs. I mean, I announced that I was leaving after the layoffs. I know that I said that I resigned after the layoffs, but I honestly, no, trust me, bro. I actually made my decision before the Hey, Alyssa, yeah. Hey, sure, hey, sure. No, yeah, sure, yeah. No, I believe you. No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at something. I'm laughing at something else. No, honestly, I believe you. I believe. Do you remember when revamped G4 announced a bunch of layoffs? 33 people were laid off. And instead of having empathy for her fellow employees who are now having to hit the unemployment line, in no small part due to her sexism and gaming rant, by the way. And the only thing that Frost could say was, well, I'm still here. I didn't get fired. It's got the same energy as that, because as we know, Frost was then fired because the whole fucking company went. And it's the same here. No. I totes did this before. Sure. Hey, Alyssa, sure. Bye. See ya. Don't let the door knock your ass so you don't have one on the way out. There are reports that there's a high number of refunds being requested by people for Dragon Age. Moon Studio CEO called the writing of Dragon Age infantile and terrible. And that's the CEO of another gaming company, an indie gaming company. Infantile and terrible. And you know what? Not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He said, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. But he wants to tell the truth. And the truth is he's right. And I'm not agreeing with him because I think the game's just a piece of piss. I'm agreeing with him because objectively, the writing is utterly abysmal and the dialogue is embarrassing. It's probably what we got. We got 2,600 people watching this stream. I've done 11 parts of Dragon Age the Veilguard live streaming, ranging from 3 hours to 12 hours per stream. 11 parts. Every single solitary stream has had over 1,000 people watching it at peak, which is incredible. The first stream had 6,900 people watching at peak. Are you just flexing? No. What I'm trying to say is the vast majority of the people who are watching this stream, those streams, yeah, they did it because they're not parting with their money. They're not parting with their money for this game. They want to see what it's actually truly like. And one of the reasons why I think that these streams have been consistently popular with the amount of people who have turned up is because they are literally there for the entertainment of how fucking abysmal the writing and the dialogue truly is. However, BioWare, EA, you should probably pay attention to what I'm going to say next. They're using myself, Mauler, other people as the vessel of their entertainment. They would rather super chat us or drop a membership or whatever if they so desire for our entertainment of your shit. Because they know that the game is dog shit, but they'll go and watch somebody that will turn it into entertainment for them. Because you, as a company, won't do that. So instead of paying $70 to you and having X amount of hours of great gameplay and great fun, which they will do if the game is good, they can either watch me for free. You don't have to super chat. You don't have to member. There's no subscription to come and watch a channel on YouTube. They can come and watch somebody for fucking free. Give them the entertainment that you won't. Do you not understand yet? All you have to do to get a customer is make a good game. And if you won't, there'll be plenty of people like me or Mauler or whoever else is going to stream it that will make that entertainment for you. And you, of course, being you, the viewing audience, not EA or BioWare. We will make it entertaining for them. But you won't earn a penny from that. We might. We will on the ad revenue, regardless on the streams. So we will, but you won't. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But here we are. And yet here we are. When I streamed Wukong, I didn't get huge amounts of people watching my Wukong streams. But I did get a lot of people saying, oh, I'm not watching us because I want to play this and enjoy this myself, and I don't want spoilers. Because they wanted to legitimately play the game. They were interested in what they saw. It looked really good. They wanted to play it themselves. No offense, Az, but I don't want spoilers. They might come and watch a stream because I stream and they can play as much as they want. I can stream for limited time. They might come and watch a stream when I'm behind where they are, but when it gets to close to where they are, sorry, Az, I'm dipping out now because you're near to where I am and I don't want spoilers. That is the sign of a really good game. That's the sign of a great game. But I've received a lot of comments over the last week or so when I've been streaming this. And one comment keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. And that one comment is, thank you for saving me $70. That's a comment that I've seen over and over and over again over the course of the last 10 days or so. Thank you for saving me $70. That's not what you really want to hear as a company. But there is no sympathy for you here from me, certainly. There is none. I feel no sympathy whatsoever. I feel no sympathy for a company that will allow itself to be manipulated or taken advantage of or willingly put out this level of shite and be so unaware of how it just doesn't in any capacity resonate with gamers or fans of dark fantasy or fans of an RPG or fans of good storytelling or fans of good characterization. You are complicit. You are complicit in its construction. You are complicit in its launch. You are complicit in its content. So I have zero sympathy. Your tone deafness is acceptable. Because you're not hurting me. You're not hurting gamers. Unlike what Jason the Snake Schreier said about owning the chuds, he had to delete that tweet because even he realized this was a monumental fucking failure. And you can say, we did this out to own the you can own as many chuds. Do you know who doesn't feel owned? The chud that didn't spend any money on this shit. As they sit in their nice, comfortable chair, in their nice, comfortable house, watching or playing whatever they want to actually watch or play on their TV. They don't feel owned in the slightest for not wasting their money on your crap. They will sleep perfectly soundly in their beds that night. This perception of owning the chuds is a monumental cope of not selling product, not having popularity, people not listening to you. It is the kid who is screaming at the group of people having fun, telling them, ha ha. No, we're ha ha. Let's carry on and keep having fun. That's what you come across as. Nobody got owned. Oh, well, sorry, I correct myself. There is one entity that got owned in this whole process. It was you. EA, it was you, BioWare. You owned yourself. You played yourself. Which is ironic, because I think you're the only people that actually did play the game unironically. Huh. Woo! Right, let's get on to some supery duperies, as you have very kindly ingratiated me for a couple of hours. I didn't think I was going to be speaking for a couple of hours straight on this, but here we are. And even when I finish this stream, I'm looking forward to Sunday Fun Day with the boys and girls today. We'll be playing the new maps for Backrooms Escape Together. The new maps which came out at the end of October. We will be playing that and actually having some fun. And I'll tell you one thing, actually, before I do go into supers, I'll just say one short thing. I have had so much fun this year, not just playing with my boys and my girls on Sunday Fun Day. Shout out QBG, Carolyn, and X-Ray Girl. Also, Mr. Porkchop, who acts as an alternate when people can't make it as well. Big shout out to Mr. Porkchop as well. But thanks to the ineptness of the Western gaming industry AAA division, I have enjoyed playing a lot of small indie games this year, which have provided hours of fun and enjoyment and laughs, and in some cases, rants. But these are small companies with small teams that have made a lot of fun games. So shout out to those indie developers. Keep doing what you're doing. Who knows? You might have that huge breakout game like a Valheim or something. It could happen. But a lot of those companies, some of those companies, they've got a low budget in terms of resources, small teams, and they've created some absolute bangers this year. Absolute bangers. Which have, in some cases, gone viral and created a lot of fun streaming experiences and a lot of entertainment for people watching, who then, because of the budget of these games and the cost of those games, can afford to pick them up quite easily themselves and have fun with their mates doing the same thing. So shout out. So, yeah. Hey, anyone here feel owned? Any chud? Hey, chuds. Hey, chuds. From a fellow chud, of course. Hey, chuds. Anyone feel owned here? I mean, I'm not feeling owned. I don't feel owned. I feel pretty good, actually. I don't feel weird. Okay. Let's get into some supery duperies. Kalioth with a $10 says, time change means I'll be at church today for the show. Hope you slept well and check out the mass delisting by Sega of 60 titles coming in December. Something maybe. Kalioth, can you email me some more information about this, please? Or can you email me like something to go to look into this, please? Appreciate that. Gay Carpenter 77 with the $5 says, love you as, but you have proven that you're more of a man than I am. I had to tap out of the gaming streams. Your pain threshold is legendary. Well, Gay Carpenter, thank you. I have the irony about Dragon Age the Failtard is I have lost my shit 10 times worse playing that game and 10 times longer than my fucking Starfield rant. But of course, my Starfield rant wasn't exactly my first rant. I've been doing that for fucking years upon years. I think it was just something that hit the public zeitgeist because the public was starting to wake up to this shit. And now, because the public are waking up to all kinds of this shit, something like the Starfield rant, it was just something that added awareness. But I have lost my shit at this game with how utterly fucking crap it is. Zipper with a 28 month says EA needs to take BioWare around the back of the shed and give them the old yellow treatment already. It's way past time. I think so. I still don't think BioWare have put a good game out since Mass Effect 3, ending aside. Even Mass Effect 3, I liked Mass Effect 3, okay? Apart from the ending. Nobody liked the ending. But even Mass Effect 3 wasn't as good as Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is just like El Primo. But it was still a good quality game. And they haven't done anything good since then. Andromeda was shit. Anthem was shit. And this is dog shit. So, BioWare are not the company they used to be. Nor should they be treated as such. The history of the company is sad because obviously, some of the games that they've put out, but it's not, that's not for us to hold on to, okay? The legacy is not for us to hold on to. We are paying customers, and a company should be judged based off the product that they put in front of you every time. Ivan with a $2 says your eye is bruised from all the haymakers from Dragon Age. Yeah, this is bruised from this is the Mike Tyson haymakers to the fucking face I've been taking from Dragon Age. It started to manifest itself in bruising. It's weird that it's taken like 2 weeks. It's so odd. So odd. Not a banned account with a $2 says can't sleep since election. Any game recommendations? Yeah, there's this great one called Dragon Age. I got game recommendations all day, every day. What are you into? What's your genre? What genre flicks you been? Let me know. Hellhound with a $5 says, as the cringe guard is rated E/T Escondido transmissions on. Oh no. Oh no. Tall, Dark, and Gruesome has been a member for 54 months. Thank you. Lord Metroid with a 5-month membership. Thank you very much indeed, Lord Metroid. I just realized I didn't even have chat open because I've segued onto that. I need to have the chat open on this page now. There's Dan Vask. I saw a little bit of Dan Vask go past. Bit of gay representation in the stream. Always good to see. This was Noons dropping at 50 membership bomb. Woo! Drake Timbershaft for the $2 says Black Rod Big Dong is better than can't say. Dragon Age Veilguard. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. The answer to that is yeah. Steve Anthony Peach with a £10 says, "Hi, Az. My aunt is an American citizen and has been living there for 15 years. She voted for Catastrophe Harris, so went online and ordered a bottle of Republican red wine as a consolation prize for." Well, joke's on you, Steve, because she's a wine aunt, so she'll like it anyway. I hope she has a sense of humor. Ryan Roche has been a member for 27 months. Ryan, thank you. Malcolm Tucker has been a member for 2 years. Az has killed brain cells for us all. This is a true story. Hit the like button and subscribe. He's doing God's work. Thank you, Malcolm Tucker. Now, fuckety bye. Byron Rocha with a $5 says, "Doing my small part, ensuring the only ones making a profit off Dragon Age Veilguard is YouTube grifters." That's me. Thank you, Az. Thank you. I'm your friendly local neighborhood grifter. Too Tired with a $10 says, "Much love to Az and Belle." No. Belle's been sleeping in my bed with me the last couple of nights. Well, she's been sleeping on top of the bed. She's been sleeping next to me the last couple of nights. It's been really cute. Been warping, threading, and slaying my loom while listening to your Dragon Age streams. I'm so sorry you have to endure this travesty for the sake of reviewing it. Well, yes, but at the same time, it's not going to be a review. It's going to be I don't know what you want to call it. It's going to be a synopsis. It's going to be a breakdown. It's going to be I don't know. But I don't know how long the video is going to be, but I'm going to work on it every day until it's done. I'd be amazed if the video is less than an hour long. I would be amazed if it's less than an hour long. Maybe 45. If it's less than 45 minutes long, I'll be fucking amazed. But I want to break things down. I want to break things down and just really kind of like talk about some things. And because there's a lot to talk about, just work on a little bit every day. And when it's ready, it's ready. But fingers crossed, it should come out before the end of the year. That's what I hope. If I work on a little bit every day, a dissection, I like that. Yeah, a dissection, I like that. Fingers crossed, maybe get it out before the end of November. That would be cool. Maybe Dragon Age Veilguard, an autopsy. Yeah, an autopsy could be good. Who knows? If you like it, if you like the video, if the video does okay, we might make it a series based off certain games, Darth Gorebag has been a member for 57 months in a thick Ugandan accent. Why are you British? Oh my God. So chat, okay. Oh my God. So if you've been if you know the game, the Canary kind of have purplish skin, right? So the Canary kind of have like a purplish skin. That's their skin tone. It's kind of purplish, right? Out of fucking nowhere. This would actually be the meme. Everybody, blank. Dragon Age the Veilguard, out of absolutely fucking nowhere, 50 odd hours into the game, suddenly a black Canary with a thick Jamaican accent, wearing clothing in the same color scheme as the Jamaican flag, enters the game. What? Just out of nowhere. You know, no, hey, Saskas. Good to see you. Just out of fucking nowhere. Just this black female, of course. Black female Jamaican canary. Welcome to my time, man. You want to go pick up a quest, don't you? Like, more. Like, what? wearing green and gold with a little bit of black. Jamaican fucking colors. It's kind of like moments like, oh, no boobs. There isn't a single woman that's got a fucking pair of tits in this game. And it's moments like that, by the way, that you're just like, is this game fucking taking the piss out of me? Is this game taking the piss out of me? But the thing is, though, it's not. It's not. It's unironically fucking cringe and laughable. Just unironically cringe. I'll be a canary, mon. Sorry? Excuse me? Baking powder? Crazy. Hellhound with a $5 says, isn't it worse that you didn't didn't your characters interrupt Solus, I think. Boobies. Solus, which set them free, which makes your characters the lovable bad guys once again. Us interrupting the ritual to imprison them even more than they were already imprisoned caused them to be released and Solus to be imprisoned. So yes, it's all our fault. But that's not been addressed at one point during the fucking game. Apparently it's still all Solus's fault or something. I don't know, like maybe. Stay at home hippo with a $20 says, as a Spanish speaker, see, I despise Spanish in games and fantasy because Californians dictate that they have to make the language inclusive and current day phrasing, making years of gendered wrong, exclude evil and creatively devoid. Yeah, I mean, did I say I meant Latin X, of course. But I mean, this the subconscious racism is so funny. It's like Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed have a black samurai as the lead. And what do they call it? Assassin's Creed Shadows. There's just like a just a complete sort of ignorant racism about it. We've got a Spanish-speaking guy in Dragon Age. What are you going to cook us? Paella? Sorry? Yeah, I'm going to be cooking paella. Hi, no. Paella is a Spanish dish on planet Earth. The subconscious racism is great. Paella. I couldn't believe it when he said that. I couldn't fucking believe it when he said that. I could not believe it. Malcolm Tucker gifting 5 memberships to the stream. Malcolm Tucker, thank you. Now fuckety bye. The next rack with 100 Danishes, but I don't feel safe with dark fantasy stuff. I know. I like warm and fuzzy and like, oh my God, do you recognize how I'm trying to like speak or something? I don't know. Like maybe. Age. The anarchist with a has become a member. Thank you. Appreciate you. Jens with a 200 Danish says, as you must prostrate yourself in front of the altar of DEI. No. No. Let's go. No. Yeah, I'm gonna thank you, but no, not no. Jack Crasher has been a member for a month. Says game is shit, studio's dead. I mean, he ain't wrong. Because if they're not going to close it down now, they'll close it down after fucking trash effect. Darth Gorebag with a $5.55. If you're nothing without your preferred pronouns, then you don't deserve them. Iron Alpha Man. Well, I mean, yes. When your superficial identity is everything, then you are nothing anyway. So you don't fucking matter. Davyverse with a £5 says, as I don't know what universe you're in, but we only have and ever be 3 Mass Effect games. And this is his favorite channel on the Citadel. Yeah. Well, there's only 3 Mass Effect games to me anyway. Nobody gives a fuck about Andromeda. The next track with 100 Danish says, Laura Kate Stale used to do a bunch of stuff with Sterling back when he was actually good. I used to have a lot of respect for him or it. Well, no longer. They went over to Kotaku, didn't they, as well? They did a bunch of stuff for Kotaku, and now look, this is the state that we're in. Please tell me that it doesn't ruin everything. You need to be educated. You need to go fuck yourself. Decriminalize adulthood with a $5. 6 feet, 3 inches, 215 pounds, 45, and now 47. It's been a beautiful week for common sense. 6'3", 215. 6'3", 215. Mike Middleton with a 2 Canadian 80 says Project 2025 shuts down woke consultant firms. Ooh. Interesting. David Elias with a $2 says, this is our church sermon we all need to hear. Thank you, David. Dragon Reborn with a £10 says, hey, brother man, I hope you're having a great Sunday. Enjoying and loving review and stream. Thank you. You're doing God's work. Keep being you and doing great. Sorry, but did I miss the poll for what we'll play next? And this is for the Hoos. It's going in the book. No, I'm not going to create the poll until after Dragon Age has been finished. Boobies. After Dragon Age is finished, I'm going to create the poll. as I work on my video, which I could start on. I could start on bits of it now. Maybe I'll do a little bit tomorrow morning before I stream or something. I don't know. Like, maybe. Smegheads with a 5 Australian that said, keep up the good work exposing this shite. And with the weight loss, you smeghead, you can see a huge change in you from your old videos. Big ups from Oz. Yeah, I need to get back on. I really need to get back on. I've had a bit of a slip and I need to regain my feet. But I appreciate you. I need to get my fucking anus in gear. Big time. Big time. Luke Smart with a 5 Canadian says, I do feel bad for the one white guy system engineer who makes these games work. He didn't write the story. He didn't design the characters. But we haven't come across many glitches. There's been a few. There's been a couple. Not, I wouldn't say, you know. But in terms of glitches, it runs fine. There you go. There's a compliment. It runs fine. Dawnbreaker with a $20 says, these same people tell us to touch grass, but they've never been outside the shithole cities they live in. Amen. If they did, they'd realize nature's a harsh motherfucker. There are no safe spaces. There are no bubbles. No. No, but inevitably, a lot of the people are telling you to touch grass. I haven't got a fucking clue what grass even looks like. I think grass is something they smoke. Dawnbreaker with a $10 says, but they won't do that because they can't handle reality. They can't handle the fact that people disagree and dislike them because they've been baubled their whole life. Yeah, I mean, you have to. There has to be a ridiculous level of arrogance to not realize that not everyone's gonna fucking have your point of view, and there is a bigger world out there. But when you're so confined in a bubble and you convince yourself that you're right, that's probably the worst thing. Then there's no there's no nuance for discussion. Then it's just our way or the highway. My way or the highway. DJ Ryan87 has been a member for 16. DJ Ryan, thank you. Dan A gifting a membership to the stream. Dan A, thank you. Roller coaster with a 25 months says, hey Laz, I watched half an hour of your Dragon Age stream and couldn't stomach it. I don't have the patience. You're a saint. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. FTR Game Studio with a 10,000 Huffingtons says, thank you for your sacrifice. Save me $70 as a gamer. I'm playing an indie and I'm playing indie and AA games, which is ironic because AA is the only breast size that you can get in Dragon Age. Looking good, Az. Come over here. I'll give you a... Chat. That is the chat. That is a legal contract, right? Chat. That is a legal contract. Soskers are just right. So that's a legally binding contract. I accept your terms. There, it's now a legally binding contract, right? Right? Yeah. Chat knows the law. Chat knows the law. So you've just entered into a legally binding contract there, and I will fucking sue if you do not come through with that. Come being the operative. Sea Devil with a $50 says, as a certified cringe lord, devs can't keep fitting real world politics and reality simulator nonsense in games such as depigmentation, race, political correctness, DEI, etc. It dilutes the game, and at that point, we might as well be playing Sims 5. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with politics in your game. There's nothing wrong with creating a universe and having politics in that universe. What people are sick and tired of is unimaginative, current-day politics being inserted ham-fistedly into entertainment. And not even done in a manner that allows you to question it. It's done in a manner that says, this is right, and you must agree. So, you know, there you go. With a £5 says, I have to deal with this at work after recent elections, and I'm just being quiet and listening how people say they didn't predict the results. Shocking. Crazy, huh? How did... I have no idea. Who knew? Darth Gorbog with a 55 says, how's your baby Belle doing? She's doing good. She's doing good. My chubby little void Jasmine is doing all right. Shout out to the pets, fur families of all viewers in the chat too. Yeah. Shout out to all my fur parents out there. R.I.P. Peanut, R.I.P. Fred. Heartbreaking stuff. Belle's doing good. She's been a bit of a sweetheart recently, actually. She's been a bit of a sweetheart. She's spending a lot of time on my bed. God bless her. Nice and comfortable and warm. Right, chat. Excuse me. I am now going to take an hour and a half break. I'll be back at 6 p.m. UK time with Sunday Fun Day. The crew is back, baby. We'll be playing Backrooms, Escape Together. There is some new maps for us to play, which we will be doing. So join me in just under an hour and a half for Sunday Fun Day with QBG, X-Ray Girl, Carolyn. Massive thank you to everyone who came to join today. Mods, by the way, excuse me. My voice isn't weak because, excuse me, I've been doing a lot of streams recently and a lot of talking. It's actually weak because I've been doing a lot of fucking shouting because of the amount of fucking rants that I've been having during the Dragon Age streams because of how shit it is. So this is actually as a result of me constantly fucking shouting almost every fucking... Anyway. So massive thank you to everyone who came to watch today. Mods, thank you very much indeed for giving up your free time. Everybody who super chatted, membered, remembered, gifted memberships. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'll see you in just under an hour and a half for Sunday Fun Day. Till then, you have a great rest of your Sunday. Take care. Goodbye, Baloo.